Go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, another big day in Duval for both the Jaguars and the visiting Florida State Seminoles. I'll have a full report on both as we get rolling right here on a Thursday edition. You're home with the Jaguars. Of course, we'll have everything for you on Saturday. All the pregame, in-game, post-game. It's been announced. Starters will play both here for your Jaguars and the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Now, how much does that change for certain players? That's always, a discretionary call by the head coach. Frankly, I'd love to see Kansas City spin it for close to 2 quarters. See what this defense is all about. I mean, I know all the attention is on the offense, deservedly so. But to me, I'm more fascinated about the defense, and it's been so damn boring around here forever. You don't talk about boring defenses. You talk about boring offenses, right? I mean, you can be the most astute NFL fan, or you can be someone who is absolutely 3 sheets to the wind. You've been pounding cocktails since 8 a.m., and you have no idea what's going on, but you can still predict, oh, they're going to run it, oh, they're going to pass it. You don't hear often boring defenses, predictable defenses. You've had to go through that, the last decade. The Gus Bradley, Todd Wash defenses and the Mike Caldwell defense of the last couple of seasons. It just feels like so much is going to change. Now, I wouldn't expect him to show all sorts of different stuff, both offensively and defensively for both teams coming up on Saturday night. But still, I'd be the first to admit my interest has certainly risen when it comes to that side of the football. And going to be a lot of fun to witness that. On the other side, Doug Peterson today talked about playing his starters. Yes, that is something that this team is going to do. I don't think it's exact around the league because, again, still trying to feel out that whole 3-game preseason compared to 4. And I know we've been in it now for a couple of years, but it felt like the blueprint was really set for 4 preseason games. With 3, it varies throughout the National Football League. But the way it works here for Jacksonville, they're going to go on Saturday night. Then, of course, Tampa Bay rolls in here to practice next week on Wednesday and Thursday, which should be just spectacular over at the Miller Electric Center. That's when you really get a good test, when you can do whatever it is that both coaches agree upon, whether it's 11 on 11, 7 on 7, goal line drills. To me, that is just so important to really recognize where your football team is in every phase of the game. So that's going to be a lot of fun coming up Wednesday and Thursday. And then they're not going to play those starters coming up during that game, which will be preseason matchup number 2 against the Buccaneers, and they travel to Atlanta. You get a couple of weeks off before the opener in Miami. Expect the starters to go coming up on that matchup as well, which will be preseason game number 3. All right, practice today, an hour and 40 minutes, no pads, a lot of special teams work, not a lot of highlights from today's overall practice at the Miller Electric Center. Unfortunately, I could not be 2 places at one time. Instead, I was on the campus at the University of North Florida to watch Florida State's second practice. Yesterday was incredibly convenient. If you didn't hear, Florida State practiced at the Flex Field on Wednesday, which is tied to Daly's place, and they got off around 9:50. Jacksonville kicked off at 8:30 on Wednesday, so I was able to really tie in a lot of the Jaguars practice on Wednesday, then the complete Florida State practice on Wednesday. I'll get to the Seminoles coming up here in just a little bit, but, there are some storylines heading into this preseason game, and there are 2 enormous ones, in my opinion. Number 1, Press Taylor calling plays. I'm still surprised. I can't say I'm shocked because it's been lingering forever. But he's going to call plays in this preseason game. And he's going to do it now from the sideline. He has spent the last couple of years calling plays from the press box. And this in itself is a six-pack minimum conversation. Talked to Dave Campbell about this, a defensive-minded coach, a head coach, but also a defensive coordinator. He absolutely enjoyed being in the booth, being upstairs, being able to see the whole field. Let me tell you, 8 years that I spent as a Jaguars sideline reporter, it is a little bit misleading. You would be under the belief that you can absolutely see everything. You cannot. Okay? There are times where your vision is obscured. All right? You're literally blinded. You're better off being up and above. Now, do you get a better feel holding that clipboard on the sideline, whether the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator? You have that opportunity after a drive, whether it's a 12-play, 75-yard drive, touchdown, or it's a 3-and-out, to sit with your quarterback, to talk to your offense. I understand they can pick up the phone, they do, and they can chat from upstairs, but it's different. I mean, COVID brought us what? It brought us more of staying at home. It brought us more technology with Zoom and the ability now to no longer have meetings face-to-face. Let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. It's far more convenient, but is it as effective? All right? And I've gone back and forth with this. It really is a healthy argument because you can make the point you want to be upstairs so you can see. You can get a good feel for all 11. Is something opening? Is a receiver who's maybe your third or fourth typically target? Is a defensive back not staying on him the way that he should? Maybe he's cheating towards the line of scrimmage. You can just see things from above that you can't from the sideline, but you're losing that one-on-one relationship. So that's different. That Press Taylor's on the field, not in the booth. But what's really concerning, he's calling plays. All right? And I go back and forth with this. I've talked to many over there, colleagues as well, who look at me and say, Press Taylor's going to call plays this year. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Doug Peterson's going to call plays. He's the head coach, right? Shad Khan spelled it out. Doug Peterson answered the question fully aware of the fact that Shad Khan said what he said, whether you would consider that directly or indirectly. Shad Khan never gets himself involved with the day-to-day operations of the football team on the field. Okay? Obviously, he's involved in everything that is off the field. He owns the team. We're not talking about the late Al Davis here. We're not talking about Jerry Jones here. And also, Jerry wears the hat as the general manager. We're not talking about, was it David Tepper, I believe, over in Carolina, who says, go out and get Bryce Young. Forget about C.J. Stroud. We're not doing, that's not Shad. Okay? And I think one of the biggest issues here with Shad Khan is phenomenal businessman. Okay? Multi-billionaire. Is he a football guy? Now, I've never really heard anyone say Shad Khan, football guy. He's Shad Khan, brilliant owner. Shad Khan's job, hire the best football people that he can to run the team. And to credit him, that is what he has done. But he did say it. So Doug Peterson now, and his loyalty to Press Taylor is frankly bizarre. All right? You can survey it, you can poll it, you can walk up and down the bar and ask your cronies. It's nearly unanimous. People want Doug Peterson to call plays. People believe that the team will be better with Doug Peterson calling plays. Yet, coming up Saturday night, Press Taylor gets that responsibility. So that is storyline number 2. Storyline number 1. Storyline number 2, two-fish, your offensive line is out. All right, Cam Robinson returned on Wednesday. He worked again today. Again, no pads. Cam with the shoulder is expected to be your starter at left tackle. Mitch Morris, your starter at center. You have Brandon Sheriff, your starter at right guard. Ezra Cleveland with a heel is out. It's Blake Hance as your starting left guard. Most people don't believe that Blake Hance is making this team. Okay? He's cut. Tyler Shatley is the backup. Most people believe he's not making the team. Could Cooper Hodges, who's been a right guard by trade, and let's face it, he's been in a hot tub since he arrived here, could maybe get some at-bats at left guard. So I'm talking about two guys who won't be on the roster. But as I said, if you were a betting man or a betting woman, here goes. I'd bet that Tyler Shatley doesn't make the 53. I'd also bet that Tyler Shatley plays for the Jaguars this year. Doesn't dress, but plays. He's in at either left or right guard at some period, at some point this year for this football team. And again, I don't think he makes the initial 53. And if he does, you know why. Someone goes down. And hopefully that's not the case. So, Cleveland out, Blake Hance in. Walker Little's your starting right tackle. You feel a little bit better about that until you really analyze what has happened. He's barely played right tackle. Remember a couple of years ago when Jawan Taylor went out? They brought Little in. He got about a half dozen plays, and then Cam went out. So Walker Little had to go from right tackle to left tackle. Jawan Taylor toughed it out, came back and played. This is, again, a left tackle. High school, left tackle. At Stanford, left tackle. They've tried to groom him to be a right tackle. Remember that battle a couple of years ago where it was open in camp. The best man wins it. Walker Little, Jawan Taylor. Jawan Taylor won it. I think there's more of a comfortable feeling about Walker Little, who has played right tackle in preseason football games. But if you look at his snap count, when it's really mattered, I want to say it's less than 10. Unless maybe someone can point out something that I'm missing. If so, please let us know. 641-1010 on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. We've got some really good football fans out there that, if that is the case, prove me wrong. But what I'm getting at here is, oh boy, two-fifths your offensive line is out. Here's Trevor Lawrence. It's a risk-reward. You want him taking snaps. You want to see what this offense can do. What happens when Trevor tries to make a play? That has been his problem the last couple of years. Hopefully the offensive play calls do not put him in a situation where he gets hit. And to me, that is a major part of all this. Let's come back, talk a little bit more about it. We'll also make our way towards Florida State and their second practice today. This one over on the campus at the University of North Florida. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Family organization. They focus on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care, including surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago. Visited Dr. Neil Shmunez. He said, brother, you got a major problem in your right eye. You need surgery immediately. He performed it. Never has been a setback. His daughter, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, as well, fellowship trained in cornea, cataract surgery, all refractive surgery combined. That's more than 30 years worth of laser eye surgery experience for all of your eye needs. There's only one stop here in Duval, Shmunez Vision. Go to IG as well, Instagram, Shmunez Vision, see all the testimonials there, or check them out online. All right, we are so busy right here on this Thursday. It's great to have you with us. Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. This is Into the Night.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Steph Curry said he got lost in the moment, and with that, Team USA avoided an upset in the semifinals. Curry pumping in 36 points. He was 9 of 14 from downtown, and the Americans come from behind to beat Serbia 95-91. The U.S. will play host France for gold on Saturday, France knocking off Germany in the other semi. Grant Holloway captures his long-awaited Olympic gold medal in the men's 110-meter hurdles. Holloway from Chesapeake, Virginia, the three-time reigning world champion, but he was the silver medalist in Tokyo 3 years ago. And the men's beach volleyball final is set. Sweden's David Ammann and Jonathan Helvig sweeping Qatar's Sherquif Yunus and Ahmed Tijan. Ammann and Helvig will face Germany's Niels Ehlers and Clemens Wickler for gold. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Bianna's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari, at Bari Orthopedics.
We could call them helmets and cleats, but they don't wear cleats.
Those shoes are hot.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
You think you could join us?
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents our you cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I-9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing sports. Fall and winter registration is underway. Log on to i9sports.com and see all they've got to offer. Kids 3 and up. You can enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for fall and winter. Great locations added like Fort Family Field, Westside Middle, and Duval Charter Bay Meadows. It's all online at i9sports.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Psst.
Hey, come on, man. Wake up.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hell yeah, get up, wake up, although the show, I have been told, has been considered by some the cure for insomnia. Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. The show is produced and run by Dylan. Tonight's show is brought to you by Thermal Engineers. And they are hiring right now. How does this sound? Okay. They're a commercial HVAC contractor in town, and they've been so for over 20 years. They are hiring right now qualified installers and technicians. Top pay. All right, this competitive pay. I'm talking about top pay. 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. It's as simple as that. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., or give them a call at 230-1172. That's Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer. Check them out today. Qualified technicians and installers. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., and you can get all the details there. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
Thursday
is here.
Almost Friday.
USA almost blew it today on the hardwood.
Yeah, they almost did. They were down by a lot. There was like beginning of the game, Serbia was up. Like they were 70% from the field, and USA was like 44.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, LeBron and Steph got it rolling. Kevin Durant couldn't miss neither. That dude he's unreal. And they ended up winning it, but my eyes were mostly on the track. Grant Holloway brought home the 110 hurdle. Noah Lyles didn't win the 200. That was kind of disappointing. Apparently, I had COVID 2 days ago. Did you see this?
I didn't.
So Noah Lyles won the 100 over the weekend. That was a surprise. He's a 200 guy. Goes to the 200, gets third, Finds out he has COVID 2 days ago.
Wow.
And still ran. And they let him, I guess.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Florida State's, I'll get to Florida State momentarily here. Plus, Nile Lawrence-Stample is going to join me at 7 o'clock. Won a natty with the Noles. And also played the defensive line for the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to get to the Noles here momentarily, but on Saturday night, the Jaguars are going to be without 4 starters. Right? We talked in great detail about Ezra Cleveland and Anton Harrison. Eric Armstead, no surprise, he's still on the PUP list. Okay? Darnell Savage is interesting because he's had the red penny on, yet you hear him talk, he's ready. You know, he wants to play, and I'm sure most athletes, really in any sport, well, let's say outside of baseball, where they love, those guys love just going away for like 60 days or whatever the case may be. But you listen to Savage, he's really chomping at the bit, but he's going to be held out as well. So that's 4 starters. You know, Dewey's out. Some may consider him a starter with the knee. Andrew Wingard, I don't. Antonio Johnson going to win that job. Right, and if there's ever a setback with Antonio Johnson, I do believe you'll see, you know, Jarian Jones as the nickel or Christian Braswell as the nickel, and Darnell Savage, you know, joins Andre Sisco at safety if there is something that goes on with Antonio Johnson. So 4 starters out for Jacksonville coming up on Saturday night. Yeah, getting a lot of response from you on the press situation, press calling plays in this game. He's going to do it now from the sideline, not from upstairs where he's done the last couple of years. Also getting a lot of thoughts from you on what Jacksonville should do and what they shouldn't do when it comes to Trevor Lawrence in this offense. You know, this is where it becomes tricky because if it is vanilla, which I have no problem with, if it's a vanilla offense and it's basic, what's that going to do? It's going to create more angst from Jaguar fans, and it's going to sound like this. What are they doing? What is Press Taylor calling? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Where, even though I want Doug Peterson calling plays, the most important thing in this football game is for Trevor Lawrence not to take any shots. So you hope that you can run the ball. Jacksonville could not a year ago. They were awful when it came to running the football. You hope they're able to do that against Kansas City. You also want to see them move it in the air. But I hope that this is a game where we're seeing really quick releases by Trevor Lawrence. I don't want him sitting back in the pocket for the last possible second, allowing his wide receivers to finish his route or reading his first progression. Covered. Reading his second progression. He's covered. Going to your third. No. And how do you say that? That's the most important part of all of this. How do you say to a guy, get rid of the ball? This is preseason. We don't want Kansas City teeing off on you. And to me, it becomes problematic simply because we know that Mike McCoy and Press Taylor and Coach Holtz and Doug Peterson, I mean, they have gone on and on and on talking to this man about throwing the ball away, not hanging on to it and trying to make a play at the line of scrimmage, hence the 60 turnovers in the last 3 years. So if you talk to him all week and even on Saturday and say, get rid of the ball, once you're in the moment, once you're in the game, doesn't the brain of Trevor Lawrence still register with making play? To me, that is a huge issue. So I think what you have to do is call plays where that doesn't happen. You call a play where hopefully it's right to your primary target. It's a lot easier said than done. But that is going to be what is, where most eyes are on, at least early. And C.J. Beathard, I don't get this either. He's going to be the number 2 quarterback. It's not Mac Jones. Mac's got 42 career starts. C.J.'s good teammate, good man. They believe they can win with Mac Jones. Coaches, we're an analyst, but everyone's an analyst, right? Everyone's an armchair quarterback. Everyone's a barroom warrior. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone's opinion is right, right? I mean, the only one who's wrong is the coach. But sometimes coaches do things, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And why are you playing C.J. Beathard second? Oh, well, C.J.'s going to get, Mac's going to get most of the snaps against Tampa, because Trevor's not playing. I don't know. It feels that way. But anyway, C.J. Beathard, who's not going to make the team. It's Mac Jones, who's your second guy, and I think C.J. gets brought back, as a practice squad guy. I'd keep 3 quarterbacks. I would. But I don't believe they will, because this is going to be a tough roster to make. There's no doubt.
If you keep 3, so what position do you sacrifice?
Well, that's just it. I mean, you want 4 backs, 6 wide receivers, 4 tight ends, 9 offensive linemen. Where are you going to cut from that position group? I think it's very tough to do that. To me, there are 3 shoo-ins at tight end. That 4th tight end is a question mark. But, I think they believe that with 42 starts, if something happens to Trevor, they can win games with Mac Jones. And I'm sure what they hope is that when they say goodbye to C.J. Beathard, he doesn't get picked up by another team. Then you can bring him back, put him on the practice squad, and he stays in the room. Because he is a valuable teammate. And that room means something. It does. And that's why Johnny Manziel's on a backup quarterback. That's why Cam Newton's on a backup quarterback. That's why New England said goodbye to Tim Tebow. They didn't want a third quarterback in that locker room having the media huddle around him when you got Tom Brady and whoever the backup was at the time. It might have been the kid who went off to the Raiders, Garoppolo. Right? You don't want a distraction with your third team QB. And there have been situations where that's happened in this league. All right, let me come back. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's get to the Knolls. Day 2. This one outdoors at UNF. I'll give you my opinion on what I saw today with Florida State. The tease would be the defense is legit. This is one of the best defenses in college football. I think it has a chance to be better than last year's defense. My only worry is linebacker. Bethune and Deloach, they were so good. And they played so many snaps. But this line in this secondary is just ridiculous right now. It's filthy with NFL players. So we'll come back. We'll take a look at that. If you want to join the conversation, you can. Best way to get on in is our text line. That is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're a cabana-side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
It's the end of summer sale with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Save $300 on every window and $825 on all patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But restrictions apply, and this offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 8, 1992, the original U.S. basketball dream team wins gold at the Barcelona Olympics over Croatia 117-85.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
If the Florida heat is getting you down and you're sweating up a storm, fire up a phone call to Florida Home AC and order an AC tune-up. It's the best way to beat the heat and keep your AC unit working at peak performance. Log on to floridahomeac.com for their tune-up special and make sure you're primed for the peak of that heat. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just a phone call away at 777-4300. Order that tune-up today.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
15,000 workers. I'm Brian Rose from Remedy Staffing. We survey 15,000 blue-collar workers each year to better understand what drives quality and dependability in our workforce. The survey shows when looking for a new job, the initial pay rate, job security, and safety while working are the most important factors for hourly workers. If you're an employer and would like to learn more about the voice of the blue-collar worker, please call us at 904-528-1933.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed. Everything counts! 1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and even though you're the place to go for fun, you're also a place to go for generators. People need generators.
And the Honda lineup is amazing. They make the super quiet model, inverter technology, the electricity super clean. You can have conversations with them. You can back up your whole house with a Honda generator. So we have them in stock, and we're ready to ride.
So you have generators big enough that could run everything in the house?
Absolutely.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency for generators.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Much more coming up on the Jaguars here in just a couple of minutes. Want to turn my attention to Florida State. Their second practice in Jacksonville today, and it was in the heat on the campus of UNF, and everyone was talking about the heat and the humidity. And yeah, I remember making this comment last year and perhaps even the year prior to that. I don't recognize the difference between Tallahassee and Jacksonville heat-wise, but then again, I've been gone from Tallahassee forever. I know this. When I arrived on campus as a freshman from Boston, it was hot, okay? And it stayed hot. But to a man, they talk about just how much more humid it was out there and how it had an effect on these players. So I thought yesterday was very spirited, a very physical practice indoors at the Flex Field downtown. Today was a better working day because of the elements, and that certainly included the temperature today. It was very hot for these guys. Again, it was a physical practice, and the first thing that stands out to me is the defense. And I'm going to get there in just 1 second. But the flip side of all of this is Florida State can run the football. Florida State has a stable of backs. Samuel Singleton, redshirt freshman out of Fleming. He was arguably the star of the running back group today, and he's battling right now on the depth chart as maybe the 5th overall guy. He had a huge afternoon. Cam Davis, an incoming freshman. I think he played 4 games a year ago out of the state of Georgia because of a knee. He looks like a bigger version of Maurice Jones-Drew. He is a beast. And him in goal line today was spectacular. Actually, someone said to me he looks like a bigger Greg Jones. No, he's not that big. Okay, and Greg Jones was at practice today. I had an opportunity to talk with him. I guess he's coaching over, I think he said over at Providence. It was good to see Greg out at practice today. But this rushing attack has a chance to really be special. And I have been so critical with this offensive line over the last 10 years because it has been awful. This is by far the best offensive line that Florida State has had since they've won a national title. Okay? These are big men, and there are a ton of starts with 7 or 8 of these guys. And, Alex Atkins said it a week ago, and you rotate on your defensive line. You want a solid 5. You want 5 grunts, and you want continuity and chemistry and camaraderie and all that stuff when it comes to your offensive line. Apparently, that's not going to be the case. They're going to rotate offensive linemen this year, and I think I'm on board with that. Because if you're not doing a job, if you're dragging your ass, you're going to be on the bench. And someone else is there chomping at the bit. So I love the rushing offense. Roydell Williams is the bell cow. He is the most talented back that they have. What is going to be very interesting for Mike Norvell is to find a way to out-scheme your opponent. You've got to get the football in the hands of your playmakers. If Roydell Williams is your I-back, I want Jalen Lucas in the slot. I want Lawrence Toafili in the slot, okay? That is going to be so important for Florida State this year to find a way to get the football to the players that I just mentioned. Because offensively, when it comes to passing the football, they really struggle. They really do. There's no other way to say it, okay? It is a struggling passing offense. And I think there's some protection there. Yeah, I read the Florida State beat, and they conveniently don't make it as bad as it is. And I get it. They're on campus, but no. It's a bad passing offense. DJ Uiagalelei is high with all of his passes. Okay, he misses guys routinely. And outside of Malik Benson, just scratch your head. I don't know who you can turn to. I even asked Mike Norvell today after practice. Unfortunately, we didn't get the sound because the wind was crazy and, there were tractors driving all over the place where they set up to do the post-game interview, so it wasn't worth the crap. And that's disappointing. But, Mike went on and it was really positive. Oh, I love where we are. We've had explosive plays. The explosive plays are coming with the dump-down variety, a screen game, short, high-percentage passes. Outside of Malik Benson, who caught one today from DJU, I don't know where this team is going to go when it comes to wide receivers. That's why you got to put your talented players in the slot. Jalen Lucas was phenomenal today. He had a couple of touchdowns. He ran one 40-plus yards. No one could touch him. He caught the ball and took it downfield. He hides. This guy's like 5'5". Now, it reminds me of Mini Mac Herron back in the days of Steve Grogan and Russ Francis and Sam the Bam Cunningham and John Hanna and Leon Gray and Dr. Bill Lankitis at center for the New England Patriots. Look him up, Mac Herron. Mac Herron spent some time behind bars. Just thought I'd drop that. But Jalen Lucas, get him the football. Okay? I'm going to be concerned if we see Florida State at 3 wide receivers, and it's Malik Benson, and it's Ja'Kai Douglas, and then you look over and, it's Darian Williamson. It's Kentron Portier. Portier dropped another one today. Okay? He drops the ball every day. And it's a ball that he has to grab. There's been a lot of attention on Elijah Moore. Ron Dugan's the national championship wide receiver on the other side of Peter Warrick and the great wide receivers they have with Snoop Minnis. Ron Dugan's is the wide receivers coach, and he spoke after practice, and he said Elijah Moore gets really down on himself. Well, he had 3 drops yesterday. He had at least 2 today. And, contested balls. If there's a contested ball, it goes to Florida State's defense. I do want to point out that Florida State's secondary is really, really good. Okay? And that's part of this. Florida State's defense is going to be a top defense in the country. But my concern is this. If this team is trailing, if they're down by a couple of possessions and they press the panic button and they become one-dimensional, they're going to struggle when it comes to passing the football. If you want to play old school ball, if you want to line up man on man, let's say it's Purdue, Iowa, right? And it's, we're going to play this game in the trenches. I love Florida State. They can run the ball. They can stop the run. Their secondary is, Shaheem Brown had a hit today on Malik Benson. I'm like, man, he's the only wide receiver worth anything. He laid him down and out. And I'm like, get up, Malik. Get up, get up, get up. Jaylen Brown, there was a comment on him today. The guy has 3 receptions in his career out of LSU. They're really relying on him. Hakeem Williams can't get on the field. He's off on the side. 4-star, 5-star, all of this promise. And I'm not giving up on Elijah Moore, but, there was a ball, and I'm trying to remember who, it was Quindarius Jones. And he's an 18-year-old true freshman. But it's a ball that's put in position where you have to make the grab with strong hands and come down with the 6. And he didn't. As he was coming down, Quindarius Jones ripped the ball out of his hands. It's a great play by a member of the secondary. I tell you what else played really good today in the secondary was Edwin Joseph. He had a couple of pass breakups. Cam Riley at goal line, kid out of Auburn, the linebacker. Looks good. They need a second linebacker. Cam Riley looks really good. So that's part of it. The defense has really been good. Okay? Passing offense, oh boy. You're going to have to out-scheme. Because you're going to be frustrated. You're going to see inconsistency when you hear that they're throwing the ball to Portier and Williamson and Spawn. No. Put Lucas in the slot. Put Toafili in the slot. You have Douglas in the slot. Go Benson Brown. Hopefully Williams returns. And even though this freshman, Elijah Moore's dropped 5 balls in 2 days, he's a 6'4" kid. Maybe he gets better. I have no faith in those 3 fifth-year seniors at wide receiver at Florida State. Man, they did a board drill today, an old-school board drill, which they call goal line. I'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. It was scary out there, man. It was, they was circling one another. And from where we were, visibility was tough, but it was electrifying. And some names that you may not be aware of actually really kicked some butt in these drills. I'll go through that a little bit later on in the program. I do want to set everything here to get ready for our second hour, which will include Nile Lawrence-Stample, who played at Florida State, won a national title. He's been out at practice. We'll get his thoughts. I also want to get yours, whether it's Florida State or everything you heard me say on the Jaguars in our first hour. We'll get back to Jacksonville, certainly, in hour number 2. The best way to join us is the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Want more Jags? Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. Looking for more in-depth coverage of the Gators? Subscribe to the 1010XL Gators YouTube channel. Need your FSU fix? Well, subscribe to the 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel. Your favorite team, one specific location.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. At my house, we had a feast from Mayport CNC Fisheries with the freshest shrimp around, and it was unbelievable. They also have oysters, scallops, mahi, and so much more. Want to eat like a local? Head to the beach and visit my friends at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
When the sun goes down, you might think a golf course shuts down, but not at the Golf Club of Southampton. Join the gang every Thursday night for trivia with Brooke and Jason, and everybody's favorite night, Friday night on the patio, featuring local musicians, food, and drink. It's all at the Golf Club of Southampton. Great golf. You've come to expect that. But don't forget, when night falls, the fun doesn't stop. Trivia every Thursday night and Southampton's live music patio session Fridays. Call 287-PLAY to make a tee time and the good time.
911, what's your emergency?
Help, we don't have air conditioning.
Ma'am, 911 is for emergencies only.
Well, my husband's trying to stuff himself in the refrigerator.
I see. Well, maybe you should call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
To get him out of the fridge?
To get a new AC system.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. For service, repairs to new installations, trust the Duck. DuckDuckAC.com.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. WaterBoyJAX.com.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie's sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just sign up at MyBookie.com and you're ready to rock. No matter who you're rooting for, there's no better way to experience the season than having action on the games. When you know your team well, it's an easy way to take advantage of props like team win totals or early picks for playoff contention. Last year, MyBookie had some of the best odds on the market for the Wolverines to win the championship, and Michigan bettors who backed their squad saw a 10% return on their wager. These type of bets highlight why it's worth it to lay an investment before the season begins. Lock your futures in now while you're waiting for the season to begin and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus up to $1,000 on that first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to start the season with house money. Don't ever miss out on the action. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Only with MyBookie.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC, Zero Res.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Nile Lawrence-Stample joins us. We get ready for hour number 2. Nile, business owner here in town. Won a natty at Florida State. And, of course, played as well on the defensive line with the Cleveland Browns. Did you offer up the run against Mike Norvell at the beginning of practice?
No.
Yesterday?
He's too fast. He's probably clocking a 4.4. He's got to be. Because he's getting after it.
He caught a lot of balls. I think he's the all-time leading receiver for the college that he went to, which unfortunately escapes me at this particular point. But 2 good days. Yesterday, the Flex Field. Today out at UNF. Nile Lawrence-Stample. A lot of good, not so much some bad. I would say it's absolutely more good than bad, but just overall, tell us about the atmosphere. What did you see out there?
I think the atmosphere is something that Norvell seems like it's super important to him. He talks about it a lot. He talks about the tempo. He talks about the attitude. He mentions kind of what's going on with them going into practice, what's going on with them outside and kind of in the locker room and kind of them in passing. So he really wants the atmosphere to be intense or at least intentional for these guys to be kind of in it at all times and understanding the opportunity that's in front of them. So I liked it. I was super happy about it. I thought everybody was flying around having a good time. And I think that more or less the players that are involved and that are like real like high and their captains and their leaders are trying to push the envelope that Norvell is trying to kind of unfold for the team itself.
Yeah. How is it different from when you won a national title there 11 years ago, as far as the atmosphere, the overall vibe?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm obviously with the portal and everything like that and guys kind of moving out and transferring out, it's really hard to keep a lot of seniority, right? And sometimes what it is, it's people transferring in, so they really don't have that tenure that you would want. But when I was there, you have a lot of really big vocal leaders. You have a lot of people like you have the Marcus Joyners. Even though he was not very talkative, he spoke when it was needed. We have obviously the Telvins and the Jameses and the Brian Storks, the people that are really going to speak out. And what I saw when I was there, I saw a lot of the same, but really speaking and doing it from example, and them kind of pushing themselves and making sure that the other guys are watching that and are seeing that.
Mm-hmm. When we get to the defensive line, I'm going to ask you about Odell Higgins, but I've noticed a change. I've been doing this for 32 plus years, and I remember when Mickey Andrews was there, and Chuck Amato was there, and the late Wayne McDuffie was there, and guys that would just get on players. We've seen the turnover both professionally with the Jaguars and the collegiate game, where the criticism isn't as massive as it once was. Even after a bad play, it feels like it's a positive reinforcement for today's young athlete. Am I wrong with that? Or did maybe Odell say some things that I didn't hear, and that this coaching staff will still get on some guys if they're not getting their job done?
1,000%. Odell is never going to change his coaching style. And when I was over there, he's getting in it after it at all times. And it was crazy. I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm getting some PTSD because right now I feel like you might have called my name. I'm about to hop in and get into drills. But no, Odell is doing everything that he used to do. It was really cool being able to watch it because he is a developer when it comes to the game and as well as the person. And he's obviously continuing to coach these top guys that we have, but he can never let down the next generation. So we have these Grady Kellys, and we have the Daniel Lyons that are coming into, and the KJ Sampsons that are coming into, and that we're going to need them this season. And they're younger, and this is when Odell really wants to kind of hone in on them.
Now Lawrence-Stample, our guest, former Florida State Seminole, played on that defensive line that won a national championship almost a decade ago. All right, we'll get to the stars, Darrell Jackson, Joshua Farmer, but you mentioned the three primary interior defensive linemen who will be involved in this rotation. Take us through. What did you see with those three guys?
Yeah, I saw some really good things, and especially obviously being as the defensive tackle that I was, and that's kind of where my heart is, obviously. It was something of a somewhat, I wouldn't say a concern, but something I really wanted to know that we were going to be good on. So I really paid a lot of attention to it. And after our top guys that we have, I think that our rotation that's going to be in there is going to be really promising. Another guy is Tomwa Durajaya. I think he's super versatile. I think he can also hold the point. He's not the biggest guy. He's not a prototypical defensive tackle, but I think he can hold the point well enough and then be able to still convert when it comes to pass rush. So I think we're going to have some real good versatility in there, and I'm feeling really confident about being able to hold the middle down this season.
Darrell Jackson didn't get an opportunity to play last year. The 2 days I saw him out there, he looked like a complete beast. What did you see?
He's a big guy. He's a force to be reckoned with, and I think with his length, he's able to obviously be able to convert when it comes to that pass rush, because you're able to get that extension when it comes to those guards and those tackles and being able to kind of transition up the field. But I think our run game is going to be stout when it comes to someone like Darrell Jackson as well as Joshua Farmer on the inside, because we're going to be able to hold that point. And that's really what it's about. We can get to the backfield. We can make plays in the backfield all day. But when it comes down to it, we have to hold that point so those linebackers can fly.
Yeah. You were out there with the interior defensive line. There were times where as well you got a chance to see Marvin Jones Jr., Patrick Payton, the two primary pass rushers who will be out there for every snap. They'll be asked to set the edge and defend the run as well. What do you see out of those two?
I was really happy to see that, one, Patrick Payton is a true leader, and you could tell that the guys around him respect him. They respect him, and because he shows by example, he goes in. No one has to call him. No one has to. He's a hard-working guy, and that's where you gain and grow that respect. But I was able to also see Marvin Jones. I was able to see a really good play of him take on an interior block and hold it, really smash it, compress it back inside, and be able to manipulate whether he wanted to go to outside tackle or shed and go inside. And that's what we're going to need from someone like Marvin, to be able to set that edge and be able to command respect when it comes to that guard, tackle, whoever's coming around to block him.
Mike Norvell told us after practice today that he rolled an ankle, right on the eve of camp. So he had been limited early on, and Norvell really doesn't talk much about injuries, but he offered this up after Thursday's work, and he's starting to come along. He forced a fumble yesterday. He had a fumble recovery today. So, I talked with his dad, the great Shade Tree, and he wasn't used, and you and I have had this conversation, he wasn't used at Georgia the way that he's going to be used here at Florida State, which people believe his best football is to come because of the way Florida State is going to use him.
Yeah, and I've spoken about this before, the way that Marvin Jones Jr. is going to be able to put his hand in the dirt as well as be able to show his athleticism out in the open field when we need him to, it is going to be an absolute game changer for him. I think he's been working a ton when it comes to that pass rush, being able to get his hips around. I saw some great pass rush moves that he was able to put out at practice, and I think we're going to see a lot of versatility when it comes to him. Even though we're going to have his hand in the dirt, he's still going to be someone that we're going to be able to put out and be able to show a different look when it comes to the offense, because we got to keep it fresh. We got to keep those games fresh, and he's someone that we could do it with.
All right, Nile, as great as this defense is, and I think it's a top defense in all of college football, the offensive line is opening holes. And the backs, man, I mean, today Samuel Singleton, the redshirt freshman out of Fleming, was probably the star of the backs, and he's arguably the fifth guy on the depth chart. What did you see out of Florida State's rushing offense?
The rushing offense is as I'm looking at the offensive line, especially when it comes to like inside drills, because obviously I'm looking at defensive line, offensive line, and like what the comparison is, because that's the iron sharpening the iron. If we have two good lines, then we're able to really make good plays. But what I saw was more technique than anything else, and the technique seems like it is always going to trump over skill, is going to trump over size, speed, whatever it is. The technique that the offensive line is playing with is at an all-time high. And I think that when we have the depth that we have, and even though potential injury may happen, I hope that it doesn't, we're still going to be able to rotate because we have the depth and we have the seniority. So I think that our offensive line is going to be a huge factor for this this team this year, especially when it comes to offense. And we're going to rely on them heavily.
Yeah, Roydell Williams, I think, is the guy that's going to get the majority of the snaps, the carries. Toafili is certainly going to get his. We really don't have much time to talk about the passing offense today, but I do think it's important, Nile, that whether it's Jalen Lucas, who today scored a couple of times, showed his hands, Lawrence Toafili, Mike Norvell has to find a way to get the football to these guys. Even if you put them in the slot and do something behind the line of scrimmage, I think this is a huge year play calling wise for Mike Norvell. Get his best players, his playmakers, the football any way that he can.
Yeah, it's going to be the creativity of that offensive coordinator. We're going to have to get real creative, especially being able to get multiple of our guys on the field at the same time. So we can have a Roydell as well as Toafili on the field at the same time. Then we're having the opposite defense really have to figure out who we're game planning for. So if we're going into the third game of the season and we have other teams looking at our game plan and they're seeing that we're able to manipulate our guys and having multiple of our star guys on the field at the same time, is going to be hell game planning for it. So I think that if we could get our guys out and often and get them the ball, we're going to be in great shape come the regular season.
You mentioned Patrick Payton in leadership. 11 players drafted in the NFL, a couple of others trying to make rosters right now as undrafted free agents. You lost a ton of production and leadership. Where is this team as far as you're concerned with leaders?
I think the leaders that have to emerge are already doing the groundwork in order to do that. I saw some real promise from a lot of our key guys, and I think as we go through the regular season and we go through training camp and we start to find our niche, guys are going to continue to emerge, and we're going to be able to have a more seasoned kind of leadership role for a lot of these guys, and it's coming. It's just something that I think takes time unless you have that vocal guy that's just going to go ahead and take it. Yep. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing some good things come out of the leadership role of these guys.
All right, take us back the year that you won a national title and try to remember 2 weeks and 2 days before opening day at Pittsburgh. Where was that national title team 2 weeks before that game, and after observing Florida State, where do you think this team is?
So Going in 2 weeks prior, so you have Jameis, who is going to be his first real season playing, right, going into Pitt. And you have a offensive line. We're good. I don't want to say we're super seasoned, but we're good. And then we have a pretty solid defense. I see us, especially coming in 2 weeks prior, with Jimbo, nothing is really ever great. He always has room for improvement. He's never really going to give people the accolades that they probably want because that's the type of coach that he is.
Right.
He's going to be kind of a little bit harder on you. Where I feel like Norvell's a lot more positive, but at the same time, we're probably around the same latitude. We're probably around the same frame because the wrinkles that we're throwing in, what people don't really understand is that we're throwing in wrinkles almost every day, especially as you get to the middle and towards the middle of the camp. We're throwing in wrinkles every day. So these guys are running plays that they've probably never seen before, or calls that we're changing, or things that we're making more efficient. So things aren't going to be polished. Things aren't going to be perfect. But as we get throughout this camp, I think we're going to be on the uptick because that's kind of what happens. As you get to that last week of camp, we're going to be a little bit more polished than anything else as you get to, because we're going to start honing in on the plays that we actually want, especially game planning for the first game of the season.
I've always thought now that the biggest difference mind-wise, the mental aspect of the game between playing on Saturday and playing on Sunday is Sunday, you're a professional. You know what you have to do. Saturday, they get back now from Jacksonville. Everyone's reporting to school. Student body, oh, you guys are going to go to Ireland. You guys are you're gonna clock Georgia Tech. I remember in '89 when they lost here, where I was riding on the bus with Marion Butts the Monday after, when they lost here against Southern Miss and Brett Favre beat them. We're going in, oh, you guys are going to crush Southern Miss. How much of a concern is that? The student body, the friends on campus being told, you're great, you're great, you're great, and not to overlook a team that you're a double-digit favorite over in Dublin.
Yeah, that is always a concern. And I would have to say that was probably one of the biggest concerns I feel like Jimbo always had. And he would always level us. We would come into team meeting, and he's like, listen, I hope that we're not, because we haven't gone anywhere. We haven't done anything. We have not arrived. You guys need to make sure we're keeping our heads. He never wanted us, especially we're going through that transition with social media while he was there. Social media started becoming a thing and becoming an issue. We had that ban to where we weren't allowed to use social media at all throughout the season. Right. I actually just remembered that. And so he didn't want that outside conflict happening at all. So it is a big concern, and I think that Norvell has to be aware of it in order to try to mitigate that, because sometimes it will go to these players' heads. So it is a concern. It always will be, and hopefully we do not let it go to our heads because it could be a problem.
Nile, Lawrence-Stample. He is with NLS Cleaning. He's Nolan with Nile. Tell us what's going on with your company and everything that you're doing as far as Florida State.
Yes, sir. So yeah, man, it was fun going out to camp this week and taking a look and talking. I was able to actually get into a meeting and talk with some of these guys about kind of what life is and what ball is and some of the things that I've learned. So that was super cool. My company's doing phenomenal, and the outreach that we've been able to have, especially some of the connections that we're able to make and some of the outreach that we're able to do in some of these charities and stuff like that. It's been phenomenal. But just exterior cleaning, pressure washing, window washing. We do a lot of commercial work. So we do a lot of buildings, industrial real estate as well. But follow me at Nolan with Nile. Get in touch with us at NLS Cleaning. We'll love to help. And we're continuing to kind of grow here in Jacksonville. We love it.
Can I get with you on the NLS Cleaning private jet to Dublin?
Oh, yeah, right. Let's go, man. I'm ready to go. It's gassed up.
All right. We'll certainly talk again before that. It's tough to believe it's only a couple of weeks away. Hey, it was great to see you out of practice. Great to see you here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There he goes. Nile Lawrence-Stample. You want to comment on anything you just heard us say? The best way to do it is our text line. That number, 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. Visit Progressive.com. Team USA men's basketball coach Steve Kerr warned not to take Serbia lightly. They've got three-time MVP Nikola Jokic, after all, and the U.S. found themselves down 17 early. But with an unconscious Steph Curry, the Americans are on to the Olympic final with a 95-91 win. Curry, 36 points. Team USA matches up with France for gold on Saturday. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has her gold again in the women's 400-meter hurdles. She broke her own world record. McLaughlin-Levrone, the first woman to win this event twice, and she does it in back-to-back games. Midway through the women's golf tournament, Morgan Matrao from Switzerland has a one-shot lead at 8 under. The top two Americans, Nelly Korda and Rose Zhang, are 2 under 6 back. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards golf lessons to become a scratch golfer. Progressive cannot guarantee that you will ever become a scratch golfer. Scratch golfers are really, really good. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, and sure, you could put that money towards lessons, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn and think you're going to become a scratch golfer, you're delusional. Sorry, just telling it like it is. Savings? Maybe. Scratch golfer? Don't hold your breath. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. It's universally accepted that golf is hard. Progressive cannot guarantee improved performance on the course.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatersparking.com and book your space today.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Loggeman, and we bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
School is almost here, and if there's two things I can count on, it's my kids needing new outfits because they grow like weeds, and Kohl's stocking their favorite styles. With the back-to-school customer appreciation event going on, I scored 30% off tees, jeans, sneakers, and backpacks when I shopped with a Kohl's card. No card? No problem. Rewards members save 20%, and everyone else saves 15%. Plus earn Kohl's Cash, and it's a tax-free holiday in Florida. When it comes to back to school, you gotta go back to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offer ends August 11th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
When were the St. Johns River jetties built? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Congress approved plans to build the jetties in 1879, and construction was from 1880 to 1885.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I was just looking back at that Florida State defense from 2013 that now Lawrence-Stample was a big part of. Of course, they won the national title, beating Auburn in the Rose Bowl. What a filthy defense. Mario Edwards Jr., Christian Jones, Eddie Goldman, Timmy Jernigan, with now Lawrence-Stample, Telvin Smith, Terrence Smith, Christian Jones, Lamarcus Joyner, Jalen Ramsey, Terrence Brooks, so underrated. The guy played in the league for, 8 or 9 years, did Terrence Brooks. P.J. Williams, another guy played in the league. Had a huge pick in that game. Ronald Darby on the other side had a great camp here with the Jaguars. So that was a special team. I'm big on what I've seen for 2 days with Florida State. I'm big on man football. I'm big on the offensive line running the ball. I'm big on the defense. I'm down on the passing offense, and this is no way around it. DJ Uiagalelei has got to get better. Without any question, the best quarterback out there today was Luke Kromenhoek. This kid is the future. I got a couple here. How did Glenn look today? Is he the guy? I don't think he is. I think the future is Luke Kromenhoek. Okay, a guy who's got to get bigger. He's got to put on some muscle. He just looks like a natural quarterback. He threw a ball today where he was flushed out of the pocket, and he rolled out. I'm trying to remember who he hit. It might have been one of the I think it was Wayne McCoy, an incoming freshman. It was sick. It was really impressive. So, the last thing I want to do to Florida State fans is tell you about the future, okay? And no, I don't believe that he should be playing right now as a true freshman. DJ Uiagalelei has 40 career starts. He's 30-10. It's either going to work or it's not. He's got 40 career starts. He's played in big games. And, I think Florida State has a chance to be better offensively when it comes to passing the ball if DJ Uiagalelei becomes the complete quarterback. And what I mean by a complete quarterback, he is a monster. He's 255 pounds. Behind that offensive line, he should be able to pick up yards with his feet. And I'm gushing about the rushing attack. I'm just a little concerned about loyalty. I'm a little concerned about these fifth-year seniors who I just don't think they give Florida State anything at wide receiver. And I know it's tough because they've paid their dues. And everyone wants it to be a warm and fuzzy story. But I think the leash on Portier and Williamson, and I don't even think Spawn will be involved, honestly. I think you got to quick hook them. I mean, look at these guys last year. Darius Williamson, 9 receptions. Kentron Portier, 6 receptions. Deuce Spawn, 1 reception. And you can look at receptions, but here's what you're not looking at. Snaps. How many snaps are they out there for? The 4-year career for Williamson, 2 balls, 11 balls, 8 balls, 9 balls, 1 career touchdown. The kid's 6'3". I've watched him drop footballs. He dropped one yesterday. DJ Uiagalelei put it right in the numbers. Right over the linebacker and before the safety. You have to catch that ball. And he didn't. Kentron Portier, 4 balls. 2022, 14 balls. Last year, 6 balls. Got 4 touchdowns. He showed a glimpse in 2022. Just going around talking to people, it's the same thing. Inconsistent. And when you're talking about a quarterback who completes 57% of his passes, you can't have inconsistency at wide receiver. Wow. So, that part of it. Now, for what it's worth, I'm bragging about 3/4 of their scheme. Right? I'm bragging about the rushing defense. I'm bragging about the passing defense. I'm bragging about the rushing offense. I just right now don't see it with the passing offense. Are they hiding something the way that the Jaguars started really slow those first 4 practices? That Saturday practice 4, was one of the worst offensive displays I've ever seen in this city. Going back to 1996, and it was just awful. And it was all 3 quarterbacks. It was Trevor, it was Mac, and it was CJ. And there were drop balls, and there were all sorts of things. So, how much are they working on that we haven't seen? It feels like, and again, I want to respect this. I don't want to talk schematically, but it feels like they've added a lot. And I don't even know if I mentioned this, but let me say it. I have confidence that Norvell knows this, that he understands it. And that instead of running out Portier and Williamson, he's going to say to himself, no. Just absolutely no. And, unfortunately, Ja'Kai Douglas, because of his size, he's only a slot guy. You can't put him on the outside. And he's a valuable guy, albeit he's a guy who's also been hurt an awful lot. I don't want to see anyone get hurt, but the two things that I want, and I'm telling you, you should want, Roydell Williams is going to get the majority of these carries. You know that Lawrence Toafili is explosive. You watched him last year run the football. You watched him last year catch the football. Lawrence Toafili caught 21 footballs last year. They move guys around a lot in motion. You can go 2 running back sets and send Toafili in motion and get him the ball. You can go 2 wide receiver sets and have this Jalen Lucas, 5'5", 5'6" kid with blazing speed. Put him in motion. I also think you can go 1 back set and put one of those kids in the slot. Whether you go trips or whether you have a 4 wide receiver set where you have 2 guys in the slot. That's the point I'm trying to make on this. I think we get caught up on receptions and receptions and targets. I mean, just go back and look at how bad the relationship was last year between Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley. I mean, Calvin had 1,000 yards. Well, look at the amount of, let me look it up right now. Look at the amount of targets. It was one of the worst percentages in the National Football League. If you look at receptions to targets, last year Calvin Ridley had 136 targets. He caught 76 balls. All right. Evan Ingram, 143 targets. He caught 114 balls. I get it. The average per was 5 yards more. Calvin Ridley, 13-4, still 8-4 for Evan Ingram. I get that. When you take some deep shots and do some things longer downfield, the percentage is going to drop. I understand that. You understand that. But still, that's an awful percentage. Trevor with Calvin Ridley. That's kind of the point I'm making here when you're talking about Portier and Williamson. I just hope Mike Norvell sees that and understands that and instead gets the ball to guys that can make plays. Hakeem Williams hasn't practiced. He's big in this. I mean, right now you're talking about Malik Benson and you're talking about Jaylen Brown. Those are the two. And then I'm talking about backs going into the slot in Toafili and Lucas. Elijah Moore, growing pains. I'm not giving up on a 6'4" rookie, but I watched him drop it 5 times in 2 days. I wish I could tell you about Williams. He's been on the sideline. He's been right there with Destin Hill, who's gone for the year. I hate singling out these guys, but, I mean, come on. These two are like mother-in-laws that won't go home. It's time. Go away. Get off the field. You're taking snaps. Can you imagine being a defensive coordinator and looking at Florida and having all these problems, running the ball, and all of a sudden seeing on one side you got Portier or Williamson? It's like, yeah, almost leave them alone, for crying out loud. Double coverage someone out and leave them alone. It's honestly how I feel. And for the record, man, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Nothing I like to see more than a 75-yard touchdown play on opening day. DJ Uiagalelei to Kentrell Poirier. He's going. I mean, yeah, I'd love to eat my words on this. But again, and they got great special teams. Great punter and kicker. Man, I want to see Lucas return punts. I do. Douglas has got to stay healthy. I know he's calm, and Keon Coleman did it last year, but we're talking about injuries, and he is a slot guy with some experience. I'd like him to be your starter in the slot, and Malik on one side, and I don't know what you're going to do on the other side. But I would love to see it if Jalen Lucas is actually the guy who can return punts for FSU. We'll see. 2 weeks, 2 days away. All right, much more coming up on the Jaguars. Also, our buddy Rafael Esparza He's going to join us live from Las Vegas. Let's check the money, as we do each and every week with our good friend from MyBookie and mybookie.org.
Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Nothing came easy, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
It's blue-collar line of scrimmage football. I'm Tom McManus, and I join Jaguars Today Fridays from 10 to noon.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing sports. Fall and winter registration is underway. Log on to i9sports.com and see all they've got to offer. Kids 3 and up. You can enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for fall and winter. Great locations added like Fort Family Field, Westside Middle, and Duval Charter Bay Meadows. It's all online at i9sports.com.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Hon, what do you say we go to the supermarket today?
Again? Weren't we just there yesterday?
Well, yeah, but it's just so nice and cool in there.
why don't we just get our air conditioning fixed?
Can we afford it?
We can with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. They offer financing.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it will be.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Repairs to new installations. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
1010XL is presented by Barra & Barra, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
You know, the Jaguars made a roster move today, and I bet it's a guy that our next guest is very familiar with because he's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the UFL. He had 9.5 sacks. Of course, I'm talking about Breland Speaks. He's a former second-round pick by Kansas City back in 2018. He's been a journeyman, but he was called in today. Deshaun Dixon, of course, his season is over with a knee. Let's go to Vegas. He is Rafael Esparza. It's always a pleasure. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. Congratulations on Speaks. He dominated the UFL, mostly being double-teamed pretty much the whole second half of the UFL season. So I like the pick of another guy getting a second chance. That's probably going to play some real good because this could be his last chance in the league.
How is UFL wagering compared to the blockbusters we have tonight? Carolina in New England, Detroit in New Jersey against the Giants.
Well, we had really good action, especially on Carolina, New England. New England opened up 1.5. Then Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, decided not to play because of a quad injury. Who would have thought Andy Dalton would move a number 6 points on a preseason game because Carolina only has 2 quarterbacks, Jake Plummer, not the Plummer that we're used to seeing in Denver, and Jake Lawton. There were only 2 quarterbacks on the roster for Carolina, but that one probably had the most action on it. Everyone bet the over, and it is 0-0. So now live betting, the total is 26.
26, I was going to say, it looks like based on 15 minutes in both games, looks like the under is a solid play.
Yeah, live betting at the Detroit, New York, that one's 29.5. So what a barn burner of preseason week 1.
Yeah. Right here tomorrow night, imagine my embarrassment, Saturday night. It's been announced by both Doug Peterson and Andy Reid. Starters are going to play Jacksonville like a 1.5 point favorite. I know you hate talking about preseason wagering. I do as well. I think you'd have to be a degenerate to do it, but some of our listeners are exactly that.
Yeah, if you're looking to put some wagers on, I have a 1-800 number you can also check out on that. But there is some action. I do like Jacksonville's backups on all sides of the offense more than I like Kansas City's backups. That's why if you can look at Mac Jones, who has a lot to prove for Jacksonville. And don't forget about CJ Bethenhard. I like him. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in the second half of this game. I kind of like Jacksonville minus the 1 on that one because let's face it, Kansas City, I still think they're hung over on the Super Bowl. This is probably one of the worst hungover Super Bowls. I can't wait to see Kansas City play all season long. I like them total season wins under. I think Jacksonville steals this. I shouldn't say steal. They're a 1-point favorite at home.
Did the bookmakers make a ton of money on the scare by the Olympic basketball team today?
Oh, yeah. Cleaned up on that. We lost on the total, 1 on the side. But live betting, we were getting crushed. Everyone was all over Serbia. So I think when it all said and done, we probably lost a little bit because we were getting crushed on live betting because Serbia. Yeah. USA should have lost that game. If it wasn't some bad decisions Serbia did in the fourth quarter, I just don't think they could have handled the pressure in the fourth quarter. That's why they lost.
All right, last one for you. The Democratic ticket has announced their vice president. How much of the odds moved?
It's pretty much a pick 'em now. I can't believe I'm saying it. I saw a six-figure bet come in the other day on Harris. So it's ridiculous what the action is coming in right now. Some books have Trump at -115, Harris at -105. Some of them have straight down the board, -120, -120. I've seen one book have -130 on Trump. That just tells me they're probably heavy on the Democratic side, so they're probably just trying to get some money back on that. But it's going to be completely crazy. I wish it was November because I've already volunteered my services for a couple of books to trade that day, so I can tell people how much money was actually coming in on those 3 days of the election.
It's going to be record-setting cash, billions and billions.
I think so now. I think so now. Before, when it was two old men yellers racing, now we have one old yeller and a lady. I think we're going to see probably record action coming in.
Tell us about MyBookie.
Yeah, it's an interesting weekend. We have preseason week 1. I think it's going to dominate, but we don't forget the Olympics. We have the ladies in soccer that go the next Brazil on Saturday. Can't wait to watch that one. We have UFC in the Apex, but don't forget in 2 weeks we got UFC pay-per-view of Alessandro on the card. I can't wait to see what he does. But it's just fantastic that preseason games are on here, even though people are betting it. Hey, but don't forget CFL Week 10 is also here this weekend as well.
Always a lot of fun, Raphael. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Raphael Esparza, mybookie.org.
Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Press Taylor will call plays Saturday, and he's going to do it from the sideline. The last couple of years, he's done it up in the booth. Doug Peterson said earlier today, Press Taylor, he's going to call plays for Jacksonville where starters will play. And he's going to do it from the sideline. Unfortunately for the Jaguars, 2/5 of their offensive line will be out. Left guard Ezra Cleveland will not go. Blake Hance will be your starter. Anton Harrison fighting through the concussion protocol out at right tackle. It'll be Walker Little. They'll also be down a couple of defensive starters. Eric Armstead, the entire training camp has been spent on the PUP list, so he will not be available. And Darnell Savage, okay, a safety, although he's listed, or a nickel, but he's listed on the depth chart as a safety. He's been in that red penny for no contact. He's not going to go. Some would consider Dewey a starter. I don't. I thought Antonio Johnson would win that job, but Dewey's out with a knee as well. So those 5 guys will not go for Jacksonville Saturday night as they take on Kansas City in preseason game number 1.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Hacker Nation is up. It is a Thursday night. I'm sure you'll have a lot on 2 offensive linemen out. How much do you play Trevor Lawrence? And as well, Press Taylor going to call play. He's going to do it now from the sideline.
Yeah, that's certainly a change. He's coming down from the booth, and you see the value of Walker Little, right? Yep. I mean, with no Anton Harrison, knowing that Walker Little is going to be in there with Cam Robinson, that goes to show you the depth of this football team. I believe it'll be Blake Hance that will be in for Ezra Cleveland as well. So not ideal, but again, this is why a guy like Walker Little and Blake Hance, quite frankly, who's played some regular season games, are so valuable coming in off the bench.
We talked about it last night, but it's amazing. It really sets up a criticism on Press Taylor because if they keep it vanilla, you don't want Trevor hanging out in the pocket. People are going to be like, see, he can't call plays, but the last thing you want is Trevor reading his second, third progression and taking hits from Kansas City.
No, I agree, and you talk about a barometer, and I asked Doug Peterson about this earlier. We'll play those comments. This is a pretty good barometer for the preseason.
Oh, yeah.
The defending 2-time world champions coming in, and they're going to play their guys. Andy Reid said yesterday the starters for Kansas City are going to play about a quarter. So, hey, Ryan Nielsen, welcome to Jacksonville. Here's Patrick Mahomes for 2 or 3 series in preseason game number 1. So that should be fun on Saturday night.
What's coming up?
We're obviously going to talk a lot of Jaguars, a lot of NFL. Tonight kicks off week 1 of the preseason. Watched a little bit of the Patriots and the Panthers. You realize what preseason football is very quickly.
It's like going to a strip club in Green Bay.
You get all excited and you're like, oh yeah, this is preseason football. But Trey Flowers, defensive back, joined me for my training camp one-on-one. We'll play that conversation. And one of my favorite guys, coming up-and-coming young man in the media, JP Acosta of SB Nation. Really enjoyed talking ball with him. He's going to join us at about 8:25 this evening.
Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
Hacker After Dark comes up right now here on both 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. Thank you to Nile Lawrence-Stample. That's how you got to say it, Nile Lawrence-Stample. He sounds like a defensive guy, right? Rafael Esparza, Dylan Denmark produced it. Hey, I got no practice tomorrow. Jaguars don't have a practice. Florida State doesn't have a practice. Florida State will scrimmage on Saturday. The Jaguars play on Saturday night. But we got a ton to do. So that'll be at 6 o'clock Friday. Look forward to that. I appreciate you as always. You can always get me on Twitter, Ballou1010XL. That'll do it. Hackers next. I'll talk to you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.